going.
All right. Back a little bit. All right, so for your practice today, you will want 2 blocks, and that should be all we need for our practice today. And you can find a comfortable position on your mat. Just taking your time to go ahead and settle in and relax. Taking a few rounds of breath. Feel free to take any movement to work out any kinks or any extra energy that you need to release before you find just a bit more relaxation. So the meditation for this practice will be about getting more grounded. So whenever you feel like you're spinning, or maybe moving too quickly, maybe there's too much activity for you to be able to focus. Take a few moments to follow this guided visualization. This will help you to ground into a place of safety, security, solidity. We'll begin by imagining a white light from above, coming from some source above, and bringing that energy down and into the crown of your head. Imagining that energy moving directly down your spine and then out through your body, through the soles of your feet. The energy will continue moving all the way down into the center of the earth. Begin to see or perhaps imagine, maybe feel any energetic imbalances within you being moved down and out through your feet, directly into the earth. Allowing these imbalances to be moved down, out, and recycled. Just asking yourself now to let any of those imbalances be washed away, to be released. And in return, let's begin to bring pure, solid, reliable, grounding energy back up from the earth, and then bringing that into our body. Bringing that up through the feet, up through the legs, and allowing that energy to come just to the top of your legs below the hips. Allow yourself to feel the qualities of earth that you most need to draw upon at this particular time. Maybe reliability, safety, security, permanence. Whatever it is that you need at this moment, allow yourself to feel that grounding energy. When you feel the sensations of the earth qualities that you most need to experience at this moment, just a reminder to affirm to yourself that you can access this feeling anytime you need to, simply by taking this time to connect to the element of earth in this way. Just allow your body to follow the rhythm of your breath for another couple of rounds of breath. And then if you're lying down, just start to take some stretching movement, whether that be stretching out through the toes or reaching through the fingertips. You can do the same if you're in seated and or child's pose, just beginning to take some physical movement to kind of wake up the body. And we will begin our physical practice in a child's pose position. So if you want to go ahead and just take your time to make your way there. Just allow yourself to settle in, settle down. And this is a grounding posture, connecting with the earth. We'll start to take some movement, starting to shift forward. We're going to come into scorpion pose. So we shift forward onto the knees and drop the hips down towards the mat, toes up, crown of the head tipping back. Going back into child's pose and scorpion. Always remembering to follow the breath. And let's find downward facing dog. A couple of heel pedals back and forth, just waking up the calves, stretching out the backs of the legs. You can shift the hips. On an inhale breath, let's take our right leg high. And then as you exhale, we'll move into an open hip position. So we'll bend the right knee, dropping the right foot over towards your left side. See if you can maintain balance between both arms, keeping the shoulders mostly square to the top of your mat. And then on an exhale breath, let's step our right leg to the top of the mat. We'll set the left knee down as we move down into a kneeling lunge. Take the right arm and reach towards the back of the mat. So we're kind of in a kneeling lunge twist. And then shift back to half splits. If you'd like to grab your blocks on either side of the foot here, you may do that. Come back to your kneeling lunge, twist, reach towards the back of the mat. And then half splits. One more time. Twist and reach back. Half splits. Shift forward into your kneeling lunge and then a side plank, a kneeling side plank facing right. Lifting the right leg into the air. On the exhale, let's draw elbow to knee. And then extend out. 2 more times. Exhale, feel the core drawing in. As you reach, make the body really long. Stretch to the toes, reach to the fingers. And to stretch and reach out, go ahead and set your right foot down. We're going to walk our hands towards the back of the mat as we lunge towards the right knee, right forearm to the thigh. Side body stretch, reaching the left arm up and over. And then turn to a tabletop, facing the front of your mat. Tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Let's step our right leg to the top of the mat for lunge. And then reach the arms up high, high lunge. Turning open to warrior two. We'll start to shift towards the left leg as we take a side lunge towards the back of the mat. Fold the chest forward halfway, reach the arms out, flex your right toe. Come back to warrior two. And then that side lunge as we fold forward. This bothers your spine in any way, you can keep the chest more upright. One more time to our side lunge, warrior two. Windmill the arms down to low lunge twist, reach the right arm up. Stepping back to plank and a vinyasa. Let's lift our left leg high. On the exhale, open hip. Hanging out here for another breath or so, just feeling into the thigh, the hip. And then let's step our left leg through to the top of the mat. Go ahead and set the right knee down as we move down into this kneeling lunge. Take the left arm, reach towards the back of the mat. And then we'll shift back to half splits. Kneeling lunge, twist, reach to the back of the mat. Half splits. As you move into this half splits, always welcome at least a small bend into the knee. Kneeling lunge, twist. Half splits. Coming back to your kneeling lunge. Extend the left leg back as we move into a side plank, kneeling side plank. On the exhale, we'll drop elbow towards the knee. And then stretch out as long as we can. Elbow to knee. Reach. And then one more time. Extend the leg out. Go ahead and set the left foot down. Walk the hands towards that back knee as we bring left forearm to left thigh. Side body stretch to the right side. Tabletop position facing the front of your mat. And then downward facing dog. Let's step our left leg to the top of the mat. High lunge. And warrior two. From your warrior two, we start to lunge towards the right leg, flexing the left foot, reach out. Back to warrior two. Side lunge. Warrior two. Side lunge. Warrior two. Low lunge. Twist. We'll bring the right hand down to the mat. Left arm reaches up. Plank pose and a vinyasa. The next inhale breath, let's take right leg high. Exhale to open hip. And then step the right leg through to the top of the mat. Setting left knee down for your kneeling lunge. Reach the right arm back, twist, and half splits. Again, 2 more times. Coming back to your kneeling lunge and then extend the right leg back. Kneeling side plank, elbow to knee. Extending the right leg back, we'll go ahead and set the foot down on the mat. Right forearm to right thigh, left side body stretch. Tabletop position. Downward dog. On the exhale breath, step the right leg forward. High lunge. Warrior 2. Lunge towards the left leg, fold forward halfway. And back to warrior 2. 2 more times. Low lunge twist. Reach the right arm up. Vinyasa. And inhale breath, left leg high. Open hip. And let's step our leg through to lunge. Setting the right knee down. Lunge, twist, and reach. Half splits. Come back to your kneeling lunge and then extend the left leg back for your kneeling side plank. Elbow to knee. Next time we extend the leg out, we'll go ahead and set the foot down. Walk towards your left leg, side body stretch to the right side. Tabletop position. Downward dog. Let's step the left leg forward. High lunge. Warrior 2. Shift towards the right leg, lunge. Warrior 2. And twice more. Low lunge twist. Bring the right hand down, left arm up. And the vinyasa. Feel free to add in another vinyasa here if you like. If you need a little more rest, child's pose. Be down dog, feels good. Let's let our meeting place be downward dog. We're going to start to make a slow roll forward into plank pose. So you arrive in plank, let's lift the right leg. Draw the right knee towards the right arm, doesn't have to touch, just bring it in. Step back to plank, keep the toes tucked under, but drop the hips down for upward dog. Back to plank. Let's lift the left leg. Left knee towards the left arm. Step back to plank, toes stay tucked under, upward dog. And downward facing dog. Stepping the right leg forward to lunge. Let's step up to chair pose. Sinking the hips back, lifting the chest up. Slowly, we're going to start to lower down into toes pose. Feel free to keep the hands in balance or bring them down to the floor. Back to chair. We're going to lift our left leg, one-legged Tadasana. Let's extend the leg out. So just lifting the leg as high as your body allows. Doesn't matter if it's hip, lower, maybe it's right off the floor. Doesn't matter. Go ahead and take a step to the back of the mat. Turn to horse pose, facing your left side. And then we're going to go ahead and straighten out through the legs. Reach up for star pose. On the exhale, reach your right fingertips towards the left toe, so like a windmill. Back to star. Use your core, engage it, reach the opposite side. Back to star. Horse pose. Let's fold the chest forward halfway, reach the arms out. And then all the way down, forward fold, wide legs. Feel free to adjust the feet out a bit here. Let the head hang heavy, let go of any tension in the neck. Maybe shake it no or nod it yes here. Let's press our hands into the mat or the floor for a half lift. We're going to take our left leg, bring it towards your right leg, make a big circle behind you. And then we're going to sweep the left leg through, come all the way down to seated. So your left leg's extended out, right knee's bent in. Lift up for any version of boat pose. We're going to rock back and forward to come all the way up to standing splits with the left leg high. Again, relaxing the head towards the floor. And then taking your time, find the balance. We're going to bring the left leg through for tree pose. Left foot to ankle, calf or thigh. Continuing to breathe. Warrior three, again, any version. Maybe you have the arms extended out. Maybe hands are at your heart, hip, wherever they need to be. Toes, left toes pointing down. Take a step back, lunge, reach up high. On the exhale breath, open the arms, shine the chest upward. Low lunge, and a vinyasa. Starting to make your slow roll forward into plank. Bringing shoulders over the wrists. Let's lift our left leg. Knee towards arm. Step back to plank. Toes stay tucked under. Drop the hips down, upward dog. Back to plank. Lift the right leg. Right knee towards right arm. Step back to plank. Slowly lowering the hips down. Keep the pressure in the palms, pressing downward. And downward facing dog. Let's step our left leg to the top of the mat. Lunge. Step forward to chair. Slowly start to lower the hips down as we come to our toes pose. Again, balance or fingertips to the floor. Come back to your chair. So one-legged Tadasana. Again, we have our legs straight. Take your right leg, step towards the back of the mat as we turn to face right for horse pose. So reach up for star. Taking left fingertips or reach towards the right toe. Come back to star. Twist and reach, opposite side. Back to star. On the exhale, horse pose, fold the chest to come parallel with the floor, reach the arms out. Wide leg forward fold, bring the hands all the way down. Make your adjustments. Bring your hands to the mat or the floor, half lift as you gently press away. Take your right foot, start to bring it towards the left foot. You're gonna make a big circle behind the body and swing it all the way through to the top of the mat. Gently go ahead and set the hips down. This time the right leg is extended out, left knee in, any version of boat. Bent knee, extended, arms behind the hamstrings, away. You grab the big toes. Again, we're gonna rock back and forward, standing splits, right leg high. Taking your time, let's slowly start to bring the right leg through tree pose. See if you can make it there without tapping the foot down. Ankle, calf, thigh. Be tall like a tree. Align the spine. And warrior three, again, any version, maybe arms are extended forward, maybe hands are at the hips, maybe hands are at your heart, maybe airplane arms, maybe chest expansion. Square up the hips, point the right toes down. Take a gentle step back with the right foot to come to high lunge. Take a nice deep breath in. On the exhale, let the arms fall open and lift the chest upward. Low lunge. End of vinyasa. Downward dog. Let's find a restful position. Child's pose, seated. Whatever seems to be calling you at this point in your practice. Just want to start to lift our head, and we will use our blocks here in just a little bit. We're going to work on some core engagement, but we'll stay here sitting back on our heels, hands in front of our body, kind of in line with our hips. We're going to keep the fingers spread out wide like starfish, press down into the hands, and then lift the hips upward as we press down into the tops of the feet. Feel your core engaged here. Slowly go ahead and lower back down. And then we're gonna lift up again. If you need to readjust where your hands are, go ahead and do that. I want you to make a rounding into the spine. Core, core, core. Let's lift up again. And then slowly lower the hips back down. Now you can move back to child's pose here if you like. Another option would be to lift both hips, or lifting your hips up. An option is to lift one foot towards the glute. And then lower back down. And then if you did the one foot, let's go ahead and repeat that on the other side. And we'll lower back down. We're going to take both of our blocks, set them out in front of us. So you're going to make a space between the blocks. This is a space for your head. We're going to bring elbows to the blocks. Shift back into child's pose, palms together. Drop your head towards the floor, thumbs towards the back of the neck. Now if these blocks make it too intense, just scoot the blocks out of the way, do the same thing. Slowly start to lift your head. We're going to take both of these blocks and scoot them back. We're going to lay our thighs over top of this. So we're going to come down onto our belly, thighs on the blocks. We're going to move into that same type of position that we just had with thumbs to the back of the neck, but we're just going to have our elbows down here. We're going to lower our belly down towards the mat. So you may need to just readjust where you have your elbows, the distance between the elbows or away from the thighs. So we're going to press down into the elbows and draw the belly up and in. So I want you to feel core engagement here, probably feeling your triceps working here too. And then go ahead and lower the belly back down towards the floor. So you can scoot the blocks closer towards the knees if that feels better here too. Engage the core, lift up, almost as if you were trying to do a cat-like back here. We're just drawing the core in and lower down. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Remember to breathe. Lowering down 1 more time to lift. Go ahead and lower the belly back down. We're going to go ahead and just scoot the blocks out to the sides. Just come down in between the blocks. I want you to reach your arms out forward of the body. We're going to lift everything up. Arms stay stationary. We're going to scissor kick the legs. Just alternating lifting and lowering, right and left leg. Again, remembering to breathe. And then go ahead and lower everything back down. We're going to press our hands into the mat, shift back, and then I want you to come and sit between your 2 blocks here. Now, you may not need blocks here. I have super short arms, so my hands normally don't even really touch the floor very well here. So I like to use blocks on the side of my hips. So you can kind of watch what I'm doing here first and then decide if you want blocks or not. So I'm going to have my hands on the blocks, lift my hips up, reverse tabletop. And then I'm going to start to shift my hips back, lifting onto my heels. I'm going to keep my hips lifted off of the mat. So you're pressing down into the blocks or the floor. Come back to your reverse tabletop. Shifting the hips back, hips remain off of the mat. Flex the feet, reverse tabletop. Let's do that 2 more times. And just set the hips down on the mat. Go ahead and set your blocks off to the side if you were using those. We're going to take our left leg. Let's step it over the right leg. Make a big bear hug around the knee and hug it in towards your chest. So it's okay if your right leg lifts off of the, or left foot lifts off of the mat here. You should feel a little stretch in this hip area here. And then go ahead and set the foot back down. Let's twist to our left. Go ahead and unwind from your twist. Let's hitch our left heel towards the left glute and then fold forward towards the right leg. And then gently lift yourself up. We're going to lean back a little bit for over half hero pose. So we can lean back just towards the palms here, depending on how your hip feels. You could come down onto the elbows. You can lay all the way down as well. So just gauge how this feels in the knee, in the hip, in the low back. So if you laid all the way back in this position, we're going to kind of shimmy our elbows underneath of us to help lift ourselves back up. And then we're going to switch out the legs. So left leg goes long, take your right foot, step it over the left. Big bear hug around the leg, squeeze it in towards the body. And go ahead and set the foot down. We'll twist right. And we'll unwind from our twist. Take your right heel, tuck it towards the right glute, and then let's fold forward towards the left leg. And then we'll lift up, starting to lean back into our half hero pose. Feel free to adjust your right foot if you need to. Straight arms, bent arms, all the way back. And so we'll take our time to, again, come out of this. Let's tuck our elbows under. Gently start to lift yourself up and swing your right leg out. We're gonna roll onto our back. Knees to chest. And then I'm just gonna let you finish your practice in whatever way you see fit today. Maybe you'd like to take a twist to the right and to the left. Maybe a happy baby. You can windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Could be restorative bridge. And maybe you're ready for Shavasana right now. So feel free to go there at any time. It's going to take a couple more minutes of Shavasana for our practice today. Settling in, just letting go. Feeling the support of the earth beneath you. Perhaps again connecting with any of those earth elements that we talked about in our opening meditation. Anything that you might be needing in this day, in this moment, in this week. Stability, safety. You're just connecting with that element that allows us to find focus. Just begin to take some movements. Maybe a nice long stretch. Closing your practice with the breath. Nice deep inhale.